Many countries frequently face serious floods. These natural disasters often cause extensive damages. It is impossible to prevent the natural disasters. Only option is to have a strong defense mechanism. Imagine a country that almost sits below sea level affected by a heavy flood. 1953 North Sea flood that happened on January 1953. A combination of heavy storms and a spring tide caused a major flood that struck the Netherlands, Belgium and the United Kingdom. The Netherlands was worst affected mainly because of its landscape. A nation almost completely flat, and around 1/3 of the country lies below sea level. Flood that killed many and made widespread property damage. The largest flood took place in the Dutch history. Almost 54 years later, in 2007, another storm named Cyclone Tilo threatened the country again. But this time the Netherlands was well prepared for defense. Soon the sea level surged to exceptional heights. Floating sensors activated the emergency flood mechanism. Within a short time, the huge rotating structures closed the main channels. By morning, the storm had passed with minimal flooding. These megastructures, called storm surge barriers, are only one part of the flood defense system called Delta Works. It is the Netherlands' largest flood defense system. Delta Works commenced in the year following the Great Flood of 1953. This massive project was executed in various phases. Delta Works mainly consists of storm surge barriers. Lock is used for raising and lowering boats and ships between different levels on river and canals. Sluice is a water channel controlled at its head by a gate. In 2013, the Delta Works were voted the most prestigious hydraulic engineering project in the world. The flood threat is not only related to rising sea levels. Rivers also pose a risk of flooding. In 2007, the Dutch government started with the development of the Room for the River program. Since the risk of flooding in the Netherlands is steadily growing, the capacity of floodplains and rivers are decreasing. Water levels rise due to more frequent and heavier rainfall. The program consisted of over 30 projects that were completed at the end of 2018. Few of major program features are relocation of dikes and farms. The main purpose of a dike is protecting the land behind it from flooding. For centuries, the Dutch have built higher and higher dikes to keep waters at bay. After various floods, they decided to no longer raise the dikes, but move them back. Dikes and farms were relocated farther from the river shore. This will create additional room for the river within the floodplain during floods. Floating or amphibious housings. These amphibious homes are fastened to flexible mooring posts and rest on concrete foundations. If the river level rises, they can move upwards and float. The fastenings to the mooring posts limits the motion caused by the water. When the water level drops, the floating homes are lowered and come to rest on concrete foundations. Rotterdam Floating Pavilion. Dutch icon of building on water. The whole building is fully relocatable. Netherlands continues to find new ways to defend natural disasters. Countries which are exposed to floods can adopt these efficient flood defense methods.